Get ready for an effect that's so mixed up, there's no way it should work. Entirely self-working, with no tricky moves, it's not only a cinch to perform, it's guaranteed to amaze. So, grab a deck, hit subscribe for more confidence-boosting tutorials, and let's do the impossible. Okay, so as ever, let's just kickstart by taking a look at the effect itself. A really fun spectator challenge, and you can just start by giving the cards a shuffle. Now you can explain to the spectator that for this challenge, we just need to divide the deck into approximately 2 even halves. So you're just going to cut the deck like so, explaining that you want to try to get the halves as even as possible. So you're just going to take a look and just move some cards if needed to try to even things up. Okay, let's see. That looks good, just about there. You can explain to the spectator that from these 2 piles of cards, we're going to deal 2 new piles of cards. And to do that, you need the spectator to choose a number, any number they like. It's a totally free choice between 1 and 10. Let's say in this instance, they choose the number 5. You're now going to use that number to deal 2 new piles, dealing 5 cards each from the top of the existing piles. So first of all, taking the pile over here and dealing 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then repeating the same for the pile on the end just here. So again, dealing 5 cards into a new pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With that complete, you're going to ask the spectator what they believe to be the chances of 2 matching cards now being on top of the 2 new piles. They might say they're good, they might say not very good. Whatever they say, you're now going to take a look at the cards. So just turning over the first card here, we can see the 4 of hearts, and the second card here, the Queen of Hearts. And you can point out that that's not bad. We've got 2 red cards, 2 matching hearts, but you think we can do even better. So you're just going to turn these cards back down and return the cards to their piles. So trying that again, you're now going to ask the spectator to choose another number, this time a slightly bigger number, say between 10 and 20. But once again, it's a totally free choice. Let's say in this instance they choose the number 12. You're now going to use that number to deal 2 new piles from the 2 existing piles. So once again, just taking a pile over here and dealing 12 cards into a new pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And once again, repeating that for the pile on the end just here. So 12 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you're going to ask the spectator again what they believe to be the chances of 2 matching cards on top of the 2 new piles. And again, whatever they say, you're going to take a look at the 2 top cards. So turning this card over here, the 9 of diamonds, and this card here, the Ace of clubs. And you can point out here that obviously that's not great. There are no matching cards in color, number, or suit. You can explain though that that's okay. This sometimes happens, and maybe it's a case of 3rd time lucky. And so you can just return the cards to their piles in readiness for a final attempt. This time though, you can explain to the spectator that we're going to use the 2 random numbers they've already selected. So we're going to take their second higher number, 12 in this instance, and subtract their first number, 5, to give us our new total. So 12 minus 5 is 7. We're now going to deal 2 new piles of 7 cards. So again, just taking the first pile here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And repeating the same with the end pile just here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At this point, you can just remind the spectator that the dealt cards here are a result of their randomly chosen numbers. They could have chosen any numbers. It was a totally free choice. Again, you can ask them what they now believe to be the chances of 2 matching cards on top of the newly dealt piles. And this time, whatever they say, you can now reveal that they've somehow managed to turn up 2 matching kings. Now that may be a surprise, but now you can reveal that it really is third time lucky, because not only do we have 2 matching kings in the middle, but also on top of each of the other piles, we have the other 2 kings, making an incredible 4 of a kind. Okay, so let's take a look at the secret to this effect. Now, you're just going to start with a small piece of preparation. You're going to take any 4 of a kind. Here we can see I'm using the kings, and you're just going to arrange them as follows, with a red card on the bottom and a red card on top, and the 2 black cards in the middle. And you're just going to take these 4 cards and start with them on top of the deck. You're now going to cut the deck into approximately 2 even halves. Now, this doesn't need to be exact. You're then going to take the 2 top cards individually from the top half here and place them on top of the bottom half, apparently evening up the halves. At this point, there are now 2 kings on top of each of the packs. You're now going to ask the spectator to choose any number between 1 and 10. It's a totally free choice. Let's say in this instance, they choose the number 4. You're now going to take each pack and deal that many cards to form 2 new piles. So in this case, 4 cards. Taking the first pack here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to repeat exactly the same with this pack here. With the cards dealt, you're now going to turn over the top card of each of the 2 middle piles. Now, if these 2 cards match, that's going to be a bonus. They probably won't, and depending on what the cards are, you can just make up a story about how well the spectator is doing. You'll then turn each of these cards face down on top of the dealt cards, and then take each of the piles and just place it back on top of its original pile. For the second round, you're going to ask the spectator to choose a higher number than the first number, so this time between 10 and 20. Again though, it's a totally free choice. Let's say in this instance they choose the number 10. You're now going to deal that many cards from the top of each of the piles here to form 2 new piles. So starting over here, 1, 2, 9, 10, and repeating the same with this pile here. You can now turn over the top card of each of the middle piles here to reveal if there are any matches. Now this time you're going to take each of the face-up cards here, take it individually and place it back down onto its original pile on the end. With the individual cards now returned, you're going to take the rest of the dealt piles here and place them on top of their original piles. For the final round, you're going to take the second higher number, so in this instance 10, and subtract the first number, in this instance 4. So 10 minus 4 equals 6. And you're now going to deal that many cards from each of the piles to form 2 new piles. Now, as you turn over the top 2 cards of the middle piles, you will reveal the 2 matching black kings. And finally, in any way that you like, you can reveal that on top of the 2 remaining piles, there just happens to be the other 2 matching kings. And there you have it. Remember, every effect you master is more than just magic. It's a victory in building focus and belief. So approach every challenge like this trick with confidence and determination to succeed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.